So it's no denying that Microsoft Flight Simulator has revolutionised and brought back to life the flight simulator market, not only on PC but in the future also on Xbox. Well, today guys, I'll be doing something different. I'll be talking and speculating about the Xbox version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, before I get into this video, I should say that these are just predictions, speculation, as well as a bit of news chucked into there, so it's not 100% accurate. I can't predict the future, but I can talk about what we already know, and I can group some of these together to give some predictions to you guys. Let's get into this video. Hello YouTube, I'm Pilot Stud and welcome back to a different type of video. Now today we're talking about the Xbox version of Microsoft Flight Simulator and maybe when this amazing simulator will come to Xbox and what can we expect with it. If you're new here, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I do flight training videos, flight sim videos, trip reports and a lot more, so if you love everything about aviation, you've certainly come to the right place. So what is going on with Microsoft Flight Simulator and Xbox? Well, it is certainly complicated. I can tell you they haven't even sorted out the PC version, so I'm going to say right off the bat, I don't think we'll see this within the next 6 months. I wouldn't be surprised if it took us to next Christmas. There's my date prediction, guys. I'll be talking about how I come to that conclusion in a minute, but before I do that, be sure you comment what you think about Microsoft Flight Simulator coming to Xbox in the description. Now, of course, if you've got an Xbox One, which is older and let's be honest, underpowered compared to what's recommended for PC players, then I've got to be honest, I'm not too sure. I predict it will come to the Xbox One, but the graphics will certainly be toned down, and of course, we'll have simpler controls. Now, I found some news about controls that's actually pretty well hidden, so stay tuned for that one. However, Microsoft Flight Simulator is almost certainly going to arrive on the powerful Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. Well, simply because they are the next era of console gaming, so you guys can certainly expect to have Microsoft Flight Simulator arrive on one of those bad boys. So, what are the differences between the Xbox version and the PC version? Well, first of all, obviously, it kind of comes as a given that there won't be the great amount of add-on support, or at least freeware add-on support, on the Xbox version. This just seems to happen with console games. We don't have massive mod support on them. However, we can expect that the in-game marketplace will be on there, so there'll be plenty of payware add-ons and I guess the occasional freeware one chucked in there. So don't worry guys, if you want to improve your experience even more, hopefully we'll have the marketplace on there. Graphics wise, I'd say on the Series X and Series S, they'll probably be able to match up to the medium-high graphics. That's my prediction. It might be a bit of a push to run Ultra. I'm no console expert, so I can't predict that. But I'd say medium-high settings are basically going to be standard. Now that is perfect. Trust me guys, that's nothing to be ashamed of. Those graphics are absolutely amazing. Now before we get onto hardware, let's talk about the airplanes and versions. So hopefully we'll get all of the aircraft you get in the PC version. I really don't see why they wouldn't do that. So we'll have the 3 versions, standard, premium and premium deluxe, because that just makes complete sense. On top of that, people should remember that you'll be able to get Microsoft Flight Simulator on the Xbox Game Pass, which is very cheap. So if you want the standard version for an affordable price, then the Xbox Game Pass is the way to go. Now I predict by the time it comes out on Xbox we'll have more aircraft in the game. I predict a fighter jet of some sort and probably a glider or helicopter, seeing as this could be in a year's time. I believe the Microsoft Flight Simulator X acceleration program came about 1-2 years after, so I think this would fit in to the timescale with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So possibly we'll have more airplanes on the Xbox version than we do on the PC version right now. Just some food for thought right there. Now, as I've said, I predict controls will be toned down because there's only so much you can do with an Xbox controller. Now of course right in front of me now I've got my stick and throttle, I've got my panels and my keyboard, all of which are supported by my PC, all of which allow for a high amount of control surfaces, buttons, etc. It means I can really increase the realism. Now I personally don't think we'll get this exactly with the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X or Xbox Series S, just because there's not that many buttons on the controller and there's not, at the moment anyway, hardware that will support it. However, I'm purely speculating here, and I've got some news that I'm now going to delve into. So the other day I was doing a flight sim survey, and it was asking me about if I play Microsoft Flight Simulator, or if I will play Microsoft Flight Simulator on a console, and to be fair I'm quite intrigued by it. And there were some questions on Flight Simulator hardware, and they were asking would I use Flight Simulator hardware with the Xbox. Now let's be honest, this is a really empty market. There's basically no one here. Thrustmaster produce a few cheap items for the Xbox and PlayStation at the moment, but some of you guys may have heard of Honeycomb. Now I'm not 100% on this. Now I do believe Honeycomb are in the works of producing an Xbox compatible controller, whether this be a yoke, stick, throttle, buttons, panel, whatever. I'd say it's more than likely just going to be their yoke with support, so that could be a massive thing. I mean, having a Honeycomb flight control on the Xbox could certainly be interesting, but of course it's purely speculation. However, if you start to look around the market, there is a place for that, and of course people are willing to spend a lot of money on controllers. Honeycomb entering the Xbox market, to be fair, wouldn't surprise me. It's quite an empty market, there's loads of space there, so products could really take off there. Now another big question facing Microsoft Flight Simulator on Xbox is, will the PC version be held back by Microsoft Flight Simulator for Xbox? However, I'm going to quickly get over this one. On a recent virtual Q&A, the developers were quick to get rid of these fears. Don't worry guys, the PC is not going to be held back, because if you remember, the lower end PC hardware options are pretty similar to the current Xbox One, and certainly worse than the Xbox Series X, so we'll probably be on the same level in some places. So wrapping this discussion video up, Microsoft Flight Simulator will 100% be released on the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. Honestly guys, it is just a given, and they will probably run this game better than my computer if I'm being completely honest. Xbox One, however, I'm slightly unsure of this. I'd say it's 50-50. They might port it backwards, they might not. I think they would, because obviously quite a few people at the moment have the Xbox One, so it would make sense. Release date time, I think a year to a year and a half is a pretty good release date. You guys have also got to remember that DirectX 12 will be coming with Microsoft Flight Simulator when it comes onto Xbox, so if you're on the PC you will see a massive improvement there. Honestly, I'm so excited for DirectX 12. It was shown on the developer update that it will be coming when the Xbox version is released. This is some massive news on top of it coming to Xbox, because it improves the simulator on the PC. Really nothing to complain about here. Hardware wise, why we might be pretty empty on products at the moment for the Xbox, I think the market will open up and we'll certainly get some interesting choices of Xbox hardware for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Honeycomb is certainly a contender, although don't hold me to it. Xbox consoles probably will be very well suited for Microsoft Flight Simulator, the Xbox Series X that is. So I don't really think we need to worry about graphics too much. They might be downgraded in some areas, but I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to wrap up this speculation video here. If you guys have enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I do videos like this all the time. While saying that, this is quite a new video for me. I don't really talk about Xbox. So if you guys liked it, be sure to hit that like button right now, and of course subscribe. Thanks to all my captains as always. If you'd like to find out how to become a captain, go onto my Discord, the link is in the description. Remember, I've also got my merch shop open right now, so you can buy some great aviation merchandise for a very affordable price on there. Thanks for watching guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Have a fantastic day, bye bye.